Ted, where's the corkscrew? Jimmy's a dead fuck. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. Today, I'm going to be going over Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, is the third sequel to Friday the 13th. They released this each year in the 80s, and this is the only Friday the 13th film to actually take place in the year it's supposed to be in 1984. And I love it. We have a new director with Joseph Zito. He does a fantastic job here, and it's an all-star cast. I mean, you have Crispin Glover as Jimmy. Corey Feldman is in it as young Tommy Jarvis. You have Joan Freeman as Mrs. Jarvis. Kimberly Beck as Trish, and then you have Eric Anderson as Rob, and this character is kind of cool because he's kind of like a hitchhiker traveler, and he's there for other reasons. He's related to one of the characters in a previous film. His sister was murdered by Jason in a previous entry, so he's there for revenge. And then we have Ted White as Jason Voorhees, and he's the most menacing Jason, I think, in all the films. He's the oldest actor to play Jason at 58 years old. He's a stuntman. So it was very interesting having his stunt experience put into the role of Jason. We also have Tom Savini work on the special effects, and he does some gnarly effects in this. But I love Joseph Zito's direction here. Paramount hired him to be a writer and director, and he said, I'm not a writer, and they paid him a whole bunch of money. He's like, I'm a writer. So he had some help. And this is very different in the fact that it not only continues where the other one left off, the other ones did that, but it's different in the fact that they don't use previous footage. They film new footage. It's all around a campfire. We get to hear this tale of like Jason murdering these people. It creates a spooky, kind of scary opening that recaps the previous entries brilliantly. Paramount probably thought this was going to be the last Jason movie. Of course, we all know when a horror film is going to reach its end, they keep going for cha-ching money. But I love this movie. This is actually not a bad film for Friday the 13th. It's better than some of its successors, and I think it continues what its previous two predecessors started. It may not be as scary, shocking, or gritty, but it does have its moments. I do like all the teenagers here. We still have horny teenagers who think about nothing but sex, but they have a bit more personality. You know, Crispin Glover as Jimmy with his friend Ted have some good banter. His girlfriend just broke up with him, so he's a very relatable character, you know, and we get to see the different type of personalities within this group of people. I like Tommy Jarvis in this. Corey Feldman is such a great actor. This is before The Lost Boys and other stuff, so it's kind of cool seeing him in this role, especially like pre-Goonies and pre-Stand By Me as well. He's a character that really challenges Jason in a psychological way. But overall, the film does feel a bit slow at the beginning. It's your usual one-of-the-mill horror film. You're just waiting for these kids to be killed off, and that's where this film excels, is the kills. You're waiting. How are they going to take out these group of people? And it's amazing, you know. You get to see them just partying, make out. You have that one dance scene. Yeah, Crispin Glover's dancing deserves to be mentioned. They're dancing to the song Back in Black by AC/DC, but in the film, it's Love is a Lie by a Lion. I love this song. Lion, of course, did Never Surrender on the Wraith, and the Transformers theme song in the 1986 Transformers film. They're an amazing group that are vastly, vastly underrated, ahead of their time. Love is a Lie is a great track. Check it out. But anyways, after that dancing scene, they all start making out, and pretty much Jason's picking them off one by one, you know? You have a freaking skinny dipping lake kill. Some guy's crotch gets crushed. Jimmy is a dead fuck, and he's like, Ted, where's the corkscrew? And Jason's like, here's your corkscrew, slams him in the head, and then hits him with a butcher knife, man. The shower kill was brutal. Like, Jesus Christ, there's some intense stuff here, and the stakes are high. There's also some traditional moments of horror, stuff that's not seen, stuff that's seen in shadows. There's this cool shot where somebody's wanting to leave a party, and you see lightning, and then you just see a silhouette of Jason stabbing this person. You don't see it, but it's like old school horror, and I like that. It blends like the 80s slasher type of horror with like the old Hitchcock type of horror film. And I like this character of Rob because people could think he's like a crazy psycho killer, but no, he's hunting Jason down. So that adds an element that makes it a continuation from the previous ones, and also somebody to help that knows about Jason, you know. It's not like, so some kids who don't know about Jason Voorhees, he's done his research. And Yeah, that scene in the freaking basement is just intense. The scene through the window that actually scared Corey Feldman when he was younger, for real. I love Jason in this. He is a force to be reckoned with. And I think that goes back to Ted White being a stuntman and having that experience. Tom Savini also had experience with stunts, so at first they weren't getting along. They got along with makeup and stunts, and Tom Savini has that crazy effect with the machete and that like head kill. Damn, Tom Savini's a masterclass special effects artist, and just with his makeup and gore, he's a legend. I ultimately like the twist of Tommy Jarvis shaving his head and just basically playing mind games with Jason. He gets to him in a psychological way, which is pretty fucked up if you ask me. It's crazy, but I love it. I love that this kid took out Jason, you know? It's someone who's innocent. It goes back to like the final girl, the survivor girl, and then the children. They're the most innocent, pure person to go against this evil in a horror film. So there's something kind of like, I don't know, mythological about that. And just like him saying, die, die. Of course, I didn't do it, but still, that was an awesome kill. He was actually hitting 2 sandbags, but I love this movie. It was a perfect ending. And of course, they continued it, but like for 2, 3, and 4 is a good trilogy and a good start of another trilogy with the Tommy Jarvis character in 5 and 6. Overall, if I had to give Friday the 13th the final chapter score, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 and a B+. This makes the final cut. It's an enjoyable horror film. It's not the best horror movie, but it's better than some of the Friday the 13th sequels, and I think has a bit more to the story and characters than the previous ones, even though I think that the scares and gore were just a bit more intense and gritty in part 2 and 3. I think I like the characters better here than I did in some of the other ones. You know, still the run-of-the-mill teens screwing around, getting hacked to death and stuff like that, but I don't know. There's something about this film that's just extra special. And also, Paramount had more involvement in this. It was supposed to be released in Halloween in 1984, and they pushed it to spring in 1984 because they liked what they saw. So they actually had some involvement in this, where the other ones, they distributed it, but somebody else pretty much like made it like an independent film. So I think that's why it has a little bit of a higher quality to it than some of the others. Anyway, if you haven't checked out Friday the 13th or the final chapter, I highly recommend it if you're a fan of horror, slasher films from the 80s. If you have seen Friday the 13th, the final chapter, let me know your thoughts. What did you think about this sequel? Let me know down in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. And check out these other videos on my channel for Friday the 13th. Subscribe for more videos. Follow me in the Stardust app at Fred Film Fanatic. And don't forget to hit that bell for more notifications. Till next time.